Okay, it's April 28, 2026. We got to repeat again for Mr. Perry, who's got Alzheimer's or whatever. This is a part of a retaliation case against you, Mr. Perry. This murder frame-up that you did. Okay, first of all, you've been talking about the false arrest and the enticements for years. This is in 2015. October 29, 2015. Now, I'm going to false arrest her and then offer her enticements if she'll lie for me and sign this affidavit that I prepared, recanting her testimony for court, that she's already done. Everything that I filed, every brief that I filed, I personally prepared it. Mr. Perry called around and wouldn't let an attorney help me, which at the time pissed me off. If I went to an attorney, he's hacked my phone. He could see it. So next thing I knew, that attorney wouldn't help me. Okay, well, that's at first it pissed me off. Now I'm glad. You know how that worked in my favor? Because now I can say, I personally prepared every brief. That is my testimony. I personally signed it, and I personally filed it, and I'm not going to change it. Okay, you want to cause another problem, you're going to pay for that. You always do. Okay? So this was, he wants to do a false arrest and entice me into a lie and into being human trafficked. And I found out about it before he did it, and I said no. My answer is no. Okay, so we had this from like a long time ago. He wanted to try to take my driver's license. Which party is the aggressor? Why is Mr. Perry always where I am? Why is he hasn't had an injury? I have like a fuck ton, right? She's already been excluded if you're trying to change her appearance or the other girls. We found a doppelganger who looks like her, but isn't she like quite a bit younger than me and quite a bit heavier than me? You said her skin is darker and her hair is more of a yellow blonde. Mine is more of a white blonde. Probably because she's younger than me. Okay, Richard said she gestures. We did some gesture analysis. She gestures completely different than Cynthia. Also, they ran all her friends, Cynthia's friends off. So I can't go to somebody and say, were you guys with her on the night of the murder at the scene? I can't put her at the scene at all, much less on the night of the murder. Because Charles ran all her friends and family off, so she doesn't really socialize. She goes to work, the grocery, the laundry, that's it. She doesn't have anybody to do anything with because they ran all her friends and family off. I have no one to go talk to put her even at the scene ever, much less on the night of the murder. The closest we got was was 5 miles within the scene, and she was door dashing that night. We heard all of that. We have it recorded, just like we have this recorded. We have all that recorded too. We don't know. We don't have to tell you what all we have. Okay, we're going to surprise you with it in a criminal case. So this is actually a retaliation case that these guys are helping me with, built against Mr. Perry. Okay, so basically, and this guy wanted me pulled over. Remember, in October 2022, you need to pull her over. He has this affidavit he wants her to sign. Pick her up, take her in. Use law enforcement, use taxpayer dollars intended to protect women from sadistic monsters like Charles Perry. Instead, use that to tamper with a witness and a victim of the crime of retaliation and attempted human trafficking and coercion and intimidation. And the guy said, I'm not doing it. I will not do it. She already knows about the affidavit. And he goes, yeah, she knows, but you may not have a choice. And he said, I'm a police officer. I do have a choice. I'll always have a choice. This guy's mentally ill, right? He's got Huntington's disease. He's diagnosed, certified mentally ill. Yeah, okay. Well, it's a bad decision. I'm a mentally ill man. I'm not putting my name on that. I'm a police officer. I have a reputation. Find a stupid one. I will not do it. I did not get pulled over that day. Another one said, I'm not, she lost her ass trying to help a cop that they framed. Okay, yesterday, I guess, or the day before, we got another one. Somebody looking at Mike Neely's case, and he said, I think the actual intended murder victim was Mike Neely. And what I think happened was, Lucky tried to save him. He noticed he was dying, something was wrong. And they got behind him and pulled him back and beat him to death. Somebody held him down. He didn't have defensive wounds. But his face looked like he'd been in a car accident, a car crash, a violent car crash. In fact, he died of internal decapitation and blunt force trauma to the head and strangulation. Okay, right? We said we went through this whole thing with Mike Neely and Chief Miller and proved there, and beyond any doubt at all, that there is absolutely no way Mike Neely could do it, and that's why you prevented and concealed my testimony from that jury. Mr. Perry, you're a crook. And we caught you. Don't forget who caught you. Okay, we only need you to express intent one time. That's all we need. The rest is icing on the cake. So every time you guys repeat yourselves, we just got more evidence that you actually definitely intended to commit a crime against me. We got Maze Ray nailed. and you knew it was a crime and you did it anyway. Okay, I don't know what planet you live on or who it is you think you're fooling, but we're not all a bunch of buffoons like you are. Okay? You can lie to yourself all you want. It doesn't change anything we do at all. We get the intel either way. We just got this, that you guys are trying to do this again. We heard you talking about it again. So we have all that. Back in 2019, not too long before you murdered Chief Miller, the guys are like, they're trying to frame you for a murder or something. So they're collecting a bunch of your cigarette butts from work. And the thing is they only need 2 or 3 to plant as evidence. But they're getting bags and bags and bags and bags. So that flagged us off. Something's wrong. What are they up to? Well, they're trying to frame you for something. So they're collecting your cigarette butts from your work, which is stalking. They can't even use it. Okay, they're obtaining something that they intend to plant. Not that you were at the crime scene and left them there yourself. They intend to plant them. Right? Anything that you obtain in the commission of a crime like stalking, sir, it's not admissible or enforceable. Okay? You have attorney, right? Our prosecutor just has told me that repeatedly, many times. Here they go again with that. They can't use that. It's excluded. It's fruit of the poisonous. It's a Fifth Amendment violation. You can't use anything you obtained during the commission of a crime of stalking. This guy's a stalker. We all know that. But it's also retaliation. It's attempted coercion and intimidation. I'm going to nail his ass with it. I will. I don't care what anybody else does. I'm going to nail him. Okay? We're getting this for a reason. Who has it, Charles? Who all has it? What are they going to do with it? When are they going to do it? How pissed off did you want them to be when they do it? They're going to do something with it. They're not doing this for nothing. Okay? Just because nobody will tell you anything doesn't mean nobody's getting that. Clearly they are. They are getting it. I have it. And then David ran around. It's not humanly possible for her to have that. Well, she's a human, and she has it, so it is. It's just that you can't figure out who's getting it and how they're getting it. Nobody will tell you anything. You know why? Everybody wants y'all gone, so you can't do this stuff anymore. No more beat down of women because you're too weak to pick on a man, and you got some mommy issue you can't keep within your own family that you got to bother the rest of the world with. Right? Okay, so we got that. If you have to change her appearance, if you want Cynthia to tan so her skin is as dark as the doppelganger, and you want the doppelganger to change her hair color to match Cynthia's, you're already tampering and altering evidence right there. So you've already excluded Cynthia. Okay, because if she was the one that did it, she wouldn't have to do that, would you? That was my professor, I believe TPD called. Duh. This is Jeannie Russell. She's tired of Mr. Perry interfering in her life, and she's in fear for herself and her family that he might hurt him. You think? Look at that. Look at this. Look, this is in 2015. I mean, this has been an ongoing problem for 15 years. This guy's got a nutbag problem. He's a psychotic sadist. He gets a sick sex thrill from women in captivity. Okay? Women they don't like you. You got to hold them hostage. Right? You rejected, failed, too stupid, fucktard to move on like the rest of us. You're just fucktard. That's to me. We want to get her driver's license. What's the date on that? 2023. 2023. 2022. See, when you are under investigation, and this is information. These are recordings. I just typed up a little bit of it. We did it again today. We got it again today. We told you give it back and get the fuck out of my life. And if you made a problem, fix it. Or we'll get more and the guys will do it for you. This is a retaliation case, sir. Okay? Just like you tried to make it look like I was stealing money, and our prosecutor was like, nope, that's extortion, actually, is what they're doing. You didn't commit a murder. This is called retaliation is what this is. I'm going to charge him. I'll do it. I don't care what anybody else does. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm doing it. We'll make an example of him and of us. This is how you do law enforcement. And this is what we do with bad people, because we live in a civilized society, and we get the kind of criminal we deserve and the kind of law enforcement we insist on, and we believe that to our core. And we think we deserve better than to have to live with criminals like Skank Charles and David and Gregory and Lucius and those guys. See? Look at this. Look at this. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And this is not the half of it. I really don't have time for this. Look at this. I'm telling him, the ticket you guys gave me? That was dismissed with no cost. He's threatening me to do it again. He made a direct threat specifically to try to have me pulled over again and get in another ticket. Okay, a targeted pullover. Which, if he's not stalking, he would know where I am and when, where I go to have me pulled over, would he? No. So during the commission of a crime, right? Okay, the crime of voyeurism, he's watching me in my home against my will without my consent. He's been billed $3,000 a day. He's not disputed that bill, and as long as he continues to do it, he's consenting to pay the bill. We expect payment, $2,000 a day for hacking everything else. Okay? And a bunch of lost income, and a bunch of lost key relationships, and a bunch of lost property. My guys are going to come after you for that. Okay? It'll probably cost you double what it would cost if you just paid it yourself. Because there's going to be now court process involved that are costly, and that's your choice. You live with it. Just how pissed off did you want them to be, and how inflamed did you want them to be, sir, when they do what they do with all this information? They're not just getting it just to sit on it. They're going to put you in jail. That's why they're doing this. I know you lie to yourself and you live in a pretend world. That's not my problem. We get the intel either way. I know before you do it, not after. Okay? We got intent. Mens rea, intent. We want her in a homeless shelter. Yep, that's about once a week. You guys do that. Or my ex-husband, you have my ex-husband, I'm not going to pay your rent, I'm not going to pay your bills anymore, I'm not going to... Why? Why? Do you know your son's alive because of me? Do you know that? Do you know you have a kid because of me? Okay, do you know my guys are watching everything you do? And there's coming a payday for everybody. Either he'll do some favors for you, legal, no legit favors for you. He's got a list. If you're taking care of his girl during all this, you're going to get, at the end of the day, you're going to have some things you like happen. If you're helping Mr. Perry try to ruin me and try to hurt me and try to harass and intimidate me and be an asshole to me, you got some payback coming. Okay? So, and that's the same people that get me all this information beforehand, not after. Okay? I need you guys to leave her alone so that I can rule out provocation and entrapment, because it looks like you're doing exactly what her email says of 2016, 17, 18, 19. We're going to send her home, harass the hell out of her, and when she complains about it, we're going to lie and say she's harassing us. Right? Okay. What we've done is, on your court case, and I guess it's in Judge Egan's court, I've not seen anything on it. I've not seen a damn thing on it. I've been told don't do anything with that. Leave it alone. Let it sit there. Okay, every time we get intel, email it to them. They're going to take it to court. They're going to put it on the docket and claim that they're being harassed. Okay, they will make it public record. And that way, when we have the actual recordings in the criminal case, I'll arrest all of them. And we'll use that as evidence against them, and they can't suppress it. They made it public record. And that's our strategy. We're going to let them do our work for us. They made it public record, so they cannot suppress it. So that's what you're to do. Until I put them in jail, and then we can use that in a criminal case against them. Every time you send an email and they take it to court and claim you're harassing them. Well, they did something, they got caught. That's not harassment. We told them, leave you alone. We told them, give back what you took from her, fix what the problems you caused, and get the hell out of her life, and don't do one more thing to her. Because if you do, we'll catch it. And we're going to put you in jail. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what you daydream. I don't care what you imagine. If you can't get anything out of anybody, that's your problem. Okay? That's our intent. We've expressed it very straightforward. Here's our strategy. Here's our plan. And you went right for it. That's not our problem either. Okay, so anything that you're coming where I am, and you're doing something to cause duress. Being apart from my kids, that's causing me duress, especially my younger son that you tried to murder. Having my ex-husband treat me the way he does, that's causing me duress. You're going to get a charge every time he does something like that. Because normally he wouldn't. He's doing it for you. And we know that. You know why? They got recordings of you telling him what to say to me. That's why I don't respond like you want me to. Okay? Mr. Perry, what did you win? You're running around telling everybody you won. What'd you win? We don't know we don't know. Okay, you tell us what'd you win. Yeah. Everybody wanted my shoe size and my height. If you're trying to get bullet trajectory and you want to plan a shoe print, maybe you need make sure you get the right size and the right height. Because I have taken a forensic science class, and I'm pretty astute on forensics. You know, I made an A in that class, and I grew up with police who were good detectives, and So yeah. Anyways, also, you wanted to plant at Zio's restaurant. You wanted to plant a gun in my car. Is that changed? You still want to plant a gun in my car? What car? I sold my car because I got tired of the threats of the pullovers, Mr. Perry. So you mean you want to put it in somebody else's car? Okay, well, if it's somebody else's car, then they had access to it, sir. Yeah. So how do you know they didn't plan it? We're talking about this now. I'm not sitting in jail. I'm not at trial. This is beforehand because we heard them talking about it. We heard them planning it. So we have it now beforehand. It's mens rea and malicious aforethought and premeditation. And it's part of a retaliation case, Richard. Yep. Okay. So there's all that. And here's the thing, we've already been over this again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Nothing in this is new. We've been talking about all this stuff for years and years and years and years. Because Charles will talk about, he'll plan something, and then they get caught. So they'll put it aside for a little bit, and then they'll talk about it again. And then they get caught again. So they'll put it aside for a little. So now we have not just one murder frame-up conversation, but we've got like hundreds of them. Because they repeat themselves, so then we got to repeat ourselves. These people like our nursing home, they can't remember. Well, we already have it. We already talked about it. We already know about it. What are they going to do, and when are they going to do, Charles? What are they going to do with it? What'd you win, huh? Tell us what you think you won. We can't wait to hear that. Okay, we've got plenty of evidence that you concealed my testimony from Mike Neely's jury on purpose, and that's called perjury by concealment. What are my guys going to do? For that, what are they going to do to you? When are they going to do it? How pissed off did you want them to be when they do it? Okay, you tell us. It's your choice. How pissed off they are is up to you. And you will have to live with it. Your choice. Okay? We got this here. There's the questions right there. What all do they really have? Because I just went over the basics of that murder frame-up. We had a whole lot more on that. A whole lot more on that. I just quick went over the basics. I don't have time for this. We all have other things to do. And we've already talked about this again and again and again. This is one specific harm. These are the very, very nitty-gritty details of this specific harm out of many, many, many you've tried over the years. And, it's not vague. We're very specific. We're very detailed. On here's the injury Charles plans to commit. And here's how he plans to commit it. And here's the weapon and the means and that's how he's planning to do it. I'm saying it before he did it, not after. I'm not in jail and I'm not at trial. We got it while you're planning it. While you're talking about planning it. Okay? We got it now. Right, Richard? Okay. So what all do they have on you guys? And who all has it? And what are they going to do with it? And how pissed off did you want them to be when they do it? Mr. Perry, answer those questions. You absolutely do have to answer those questions. Do it on the record. Okay? You have to answer those questions. You know everything and you want, so answer the fucking questions. Okay? You little rejected bitch. You know, there's nothing more pathetic than a little bitch who won't move on. Okay? Now, hang on. Okay, now this is my Google Drive file that Mr. Miller has access to. A lot of people have access to this file. My attorneys especially. Ted Hogan, Philip Wishcamper, Mallory Miller, and a whole fuck ton of other people. Okay, and of course the guys. So, we already got the second false arrest here. Okay. Charles wanted to get me on a hate crime, and everybody's like, but are you gay? Does she know you're gay? How does she know you're gay? And I'm like, I guess Charles Perry and David Robertson have both claimed they're gay. I don't know that they're gay. I've not seen them with a man. I've never seen him kiss a guy or anything. They've not told me specifically I'm gay. They've not told me that. Neither one of them. So if they're gay, good for them. It's not a crime to be gay. It really isn't. You know what is a crime? Perjury. Lying to police. Lying to the feds. Those are crimes. Okay, being a gay is not a crime at all. You can do it all day and all night. And I don't have a thing against gays and trans. I've already said that. I do have a problem with sissies who think they're tough picking on women. That I have a problem with. I've made that very, very, very clear. I speak for me, nobody else. I express my intent. Nobody else expresses my intent or what I understand or don't understand. I'm perfectly capable of doing that all by myself. Okay? We have... You know, we got Damien's pullover. He's got his own file here. Damien, his targeted pullover. I don't know Damien. Never met him. You know, take my car, run the tornado on her. I mean, these are repeated conversations you guys have. Look, murder frame up again. That file's full. Load it up with your conversations I typed up. You probably have them too, because like I said, the strategy is, when there's a conversation about it, type it up and email it to them. They're going to take it into court and put it on public record so they can't exclude it or suppress it during a criminal trial. Right? And then when they're all in jail, we'll file a motion to vacate and it's gone. All that stuff they did in court that was illegal is gone. Okay? That's our plan. That's our strategy. Mr. Perry's laughing. He actually likes being caught. He said he thinks it's funny. Okay, you get caught when you do the crime to me. I know, I like that. I think it's funny. Okay. Does Gabaldon? Does Bencourt? Does Gary or Gerard? Does Damien? Does Hoyt and Gordy? Does Trevor and Nathan? Does Jeff and Billy? Does Lucius? I don't know any of these people. What about Al and Sam? Do they? I don't know them either. So what about Erica? I don't know these people. These are your people. What about Beverly? Do they all think it's funny that you get caught when you do the crime to me and I find out about it beforehand, not after? I mean, you said it's funny, so laugh. Okay? Don't complain about it. You think it's funny. We had a whole thing of the pullovers. We got stalker pictures they take all the time and trophies. They steal stuff. They'll steal stuff right out of my car. I've had lighters stolen out of my car. I've had chapstick. I've had expensive shampoo. I've had a whole bunch of stuff stolen right out of my car. They just get in it and help themselves. They just walk in my house and tear up my shit and help themselves. And can't figure out why they can't get any information out of anybody. And why I find out before. Well, if I'm broke, you're done. You're gonna piss my people off. They're inflamed. If you have somebody be mean to me, my ex-husband or anybody, you're done. They're inflamed. We get a lot more intel. The more nasty and cruel you guys are, we get busy as hell. And you know that. And you do anyway. You think it's funny. So we can't figure out why you're complaining. You think it's funny. You like that. Right? Isn't that what you said, Charles? You win. Okay. We don't know what you think you won, but we can't wait to hear that one. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, we've got this covered, and my attorneys all have access to this, and a whole bunch of people have access to this, and the guys have access to this. So, I mean, you do what you do, but remember, we have it now beforehand. I'm not in jail, and we're not at trial. I have it now. Right, Richard? I mean, I can't go to her friends. Club raids, see? I'm going to interfere with your job and by having the cops do a club raid. What for? Why? Why would they want to do the club raid, Mr. Perry? Yeah. Why did you call in a club raid? You think the cops are your bitch and they just all work for you? Is that what you think? Well, we get the information somehow. So somebody's not okay with that. Probably a whole bunch of guys who work in law enforcement and are sick of being bullied are not okay with it. We heard somebody the other day on a phone call, and he said, did you guys tell the cops they cannot do what they're doing? They cannot rat us out? And the guy said, yes, we did tell them that. Why don't y'all tell me? Why don't y'all tell me that to my face? We could not believe it. We were like, what? What play? You tell the cops they can't do their job in protecting a citizen or other citizens from human traffickers? Are you shitting us with that? Are you shitting us with that? Why don't you get off your fat, ugly ass and you tell me that to my face, and don't hide behind a computer and a phone or another cop. You don't hide behind anybody. You fucking get some balls and tell me to my face the cops can't do the job for which they are required under the Constitution to do. Tell me to my face, and then you watch what happens, and don't complain about it. You asked for it. You asked for it. You tell me to my fucking face, or don't you tell another cop that ever again. Okay? We heard you say that. Now watch what happens. Remember, we keep our promises. We said not this time. You're going to pay in ways you've never had to pay before. Things are about to change for you. Things are going to be very different because you picked on the wrong people this time. You got away with heinous crimes all your life, not this time. Watch this. You're going to see things you've never seen before. Don't forget who it is you're talking to. Don't forget. It'll be a mistake every time. What did you win? You Princess Cuckoo Bird. What'd you win? Tell us. Tell the world. What did you think you won? What? We got more intel is what happened. Give it back and get out, or we'll get more intel. Give it back and get out today, or we'll get more. We've been saying that for 6 years. That is half a decade. 6 years. Give it back. Fix your problems you caused, and you get the fuck out of my life, or we'll get more and we'll do it for you ourselves. No to the bribe. That was in response to your enticement offers. I don't need that. Nope, I do not. We're going to do it for you. It'll become very expensive. Very expensive for you. You've not seen anything like this before. You're about to find out the hard way. You should just left me the fuck alone. You fucking little weirdo. You rejected fail. Nothing more pathetic than a little bitch who won't just move on. Yep, he's going to humiliate himself at all costs and the risk of everything. So we got this covered, Richard. I'm not sure what the fuck planet you live on. You knew we had this already discussed over and over and over, and we heard you planning it, and we repeated you guys while you were planning it, and you know I wasn't there. You know I didn't have anything to do with that. You guys take pictures of me everywhere I go, stalker pictures. If I committed any crime at all, you'd have a picture of it. You're desperate for a smear campaign. You think that making me look bad will make you look good. That if we can frame her for something, then that means we didn't kill a cop. And we're not human traffickers, and that's not what that means. You dumb son of a bitch. It's not what that means at all. Let's say even I really did ninja. If I was going to do a crime, which I don't, but let's just say I was going to do one. I would do some sort of ninja-style bank robbery or some art heist. That would be more my thing. Okay, if I was going to be some sort of criminal. I'm not a criminal. They'd have a picture of it. They take pictures of me literally everywhere I go. They're stalkers. That's what stalkers do. So, and they're desperate for a smear campaign. They're dying to catch me doing something so they can get the smear campaign. They'd had, if I did that murder, they'd have pictures of it. I'd have been in jail within the hour, and they'd have that smear campaign. They'd be a big media circus press conference. That's what Charles wants. He's been desperate from that since the first one. Desperate for it. Chomping at the bit, clawing and scraping to get that. So if I was a criminal, they'd already have it done. Okay, but I'm not. But let's just say I did this bank heist thing, ninja style. I snuck in through whatever, the roof, or however these guys do the ninja thing. I don't know how they do it. If you watch, Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 13 or whatever like that, that's the kind of thing I would do if I was going to be a criminal. So let's say I did that, and I really did that, and let's say they had pictures of it. Does that mean he didn't kill Lucky and frame Mike? Does that mean he's not a human trafficker? It does not. They're two different events. They're two completely different things. One is a bank heist and one is a murder. One is pedophilia. One is cop killing. One is baby killing. One is murder. One is bank robbery. Two different things. Whole different set of events. Whole different dates and times. Little retard. Can't you just put stuff like that together in your head? Are you that stupid? I'm not a special education teacher, and if you're a cop, I'm not going to slow down for you. You catch up. Do your own homework. And you better make sure you know your shit, because I know mine. Okay? We have a lot more than we put out. A hell of a lot more than we put out. But I know to do that or not do that, right? Everybody's sitting there watching me. How'd she know to do that? How'd she know not to do that? I don't talk about all of it that we have. I just don't do what you want. I don't say what you want. She didn't say what we wanted her to say. She just turned around and walked off. Why would I do that if I didn't already know? And I'm not going to get sucked into your drama. I don't do drama. I'm not soap opera. Okay, so I fucking hate soap operas. I don't watch soap operas on TV. I can't. That's not my. I can't stand it. I used to like Grey's Anatomy a little bit. They had some really good life lessons, and there was some cute things in there. Some good, interesting things in there. But I really didn't watch it as much as it might look like I did, because it's soap opera, and I don't like soap opera. Okay, that's not really my thing. My kind of movies are like The Infiltrator with Bryan Cranston, or Mindhunters, on Netflix, or Unbelievable on Netflix, or I do like Hacked or something, whatever it is. Anyway, because it's Vegas and it's funny, and there's certain kind of shows I like, and people, and the what's it called? Shit. Equalizer. I love the equalizer. We need a, maybe have somebody similar to that going after you, Charles. Short of the knifing through the throat and the brutal violence, you haven't had your head chopped into or anything like that, or been shot up the ass like he does. But what if our guys can do a lot of things like that, short of just slaughtering you? And if you get anywhere near me, or I caught you, if you took me to a compound and I caught somebody raping a little kid, I remember I told you, you have my word, I'd slit your throat ear to ear and not think twice about it. You're raping a kid, and I'm going to save the kid. Okay? If it's you and the kid, it's not going to be the kid. And I think you know that I probably can do that. If I wanted to, bad enough, I think I could. Probably hurt you pretty bad. I think you guys have watched me, in some situation where you can see that I went easy because I didn't want to hurt the other person. But if I wanted to, I could. I think you know that I can. And so, if you really thought that you were going to kidnap me and take me into a hostage situation, and all these years nothing's gone like you thought it would, you think that would? Do you really think that would? Okay, if I caught you raping a kid, I would find a way to slit your throat ear to ear and not think twice about it. I would save the kid. If you get anywhere near me, you might not live to tell about it. Okay, if the guys don't shoot you in the head first, do you think I can't hurt you? Do you really think that? Okay, would you have? That's why you talk about drugging me. We got to give her diazepam so she can't fight back. We got to put her in the hospital so she can't fight back. She might actually hurt us. We might get bruised. You probably would. Because if I wanted to, I could. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear. I don't want anything to do with you, and you know that. We've asked you to stay away from me. I don't go where you are. You're always where I am because you're a creepy little stalker. You're a creeper peeper, right? Yeah, everybody loves that, in a civilized society. Those kind. That's why you're getting everybody to line up to help you get a name and interfere with justice, right? So, we're really kind of done here with this because all the murder frame up is actually already on the McNamara page, Mr. Perry. Everybody knows that. This is 419 pages of all the crime you've planned against me, including murder frame up. Okay, it's already, This has about 800 different reasons that you guys thought maybe you could do a false arrest again. Because you have some sort of sadist problem and a sex fetish with women in captivity, right? Okay, it's already documented here, okay? I mean, do we really need to keep repeating ourselves just because you do, sir? I mean, we already have it. We've got it. There's a retaliation case against you. There's an extortion case against you. Okay? Now, my guys, how do you know that I'm not in a committed relationship with one of those guys? They got me the Fabian puzzle in jail. Remember, if they can do that, they can do a lot of things, Mr. Perry. And it wasn't up to you. Right? Remember that? The Fabian puzzle. Has everybody seen that? They got that to me in jail. Wasn't up to Charles at all. It's very specific to me. I'm not going to review that again. But they got that to me. Okay. Well, once Fabian flaked, maybe I'm with one of these guys. I've known him all my adult life, right? Remember? Okay. So they think it's funny that you run around and you're making it sound like you have a thing with me. You don't have a thing with me. You're fucking delusional. You got Huntington's disease. You're a certified diagnosed wackadoo. You're 10 years past a good time for a butterfly net and a padded cell. You embarrass the hell out of me with your delusion and the stuff you say. I can't even believe it. So he's hacked my phone and he's watching me in the privacy of my home. So if I watch certain shows on TV, he knows what I'm watching. He thinks it's a secret hint. Or if I listen to a certain song on my phone, it's for the guys. It's not for you. Why did you think it was for you? The pedophile song's for you. The rest of them aren't. Okay? The rest of them are not. So I don't know what the hell in the, Nightmare from Halsey is. It's a human trafficking song. You're not going to tell, some man's not going to tell me what to do with my body in the bed. That's my decision. And you owe me. I'm stacking it and racking it. You owe me. I'm keeping track of what you owe me. So those two are for you. The rest of them are not. And for you to sit there and act like you think they are is nuts. You're a damn batshit crazy nutbag. And it's embarrassing that you do that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with somebody that does that. You need to get the fuck out of my life. Grow up and act like a man. And move on and be professional. Be a fucking professional. Okay? And stop acting like a whiny little girl. Some whiny little bitch. Didn't get her way. I mean, golly. Have some pride in yourself or something. Some dignity and class. You just don't have any, do you? It's embarrassing. We're embarrassed. If you weren't so mean and cruel, your cruelty gets us a lot of intel. And you just never stop with that. You don't understand. Everybody else hates that. They don't understand why the hell you're making my ex-husband be mean to me. Boy, he's mean. Somebody said he comes across like a stoic narcissist. He's not impressing me. He's making me want to barf. I'm not impressed with that. A guy that acts like that. Why is he acting like that? And I think that person was told, we're not sure that he's wanting to act like that as much as he's being told to act like that. But some of it, he might be really him. I think we're all trying to figure that out. Is he acting like that because he's acting like that, or because Charles and Dave told him to act like that? We're not sure. Because Charles and Dave actually shouldn't even be talking to him. And Gordy. Don't those three talk to him on a regular basis? Yeah. Okay. So if you do, and I don't respond or react to him the way that you thought I would, maybe it's because I already knew, right? Maybe it's because everybody hates what you're doing so much, they tell on you. And you like that. You think it's funny. That's what you said. You're telling everybody we like that. We think it's funny. Okay. Well, then go laugh and quit whining about it like a girl. You guys see how you're all tough mafia until you get caught, and then you're like a bunch of little girls running around in your little dresses and your little pantyhose and your sissy, and you gotta go bully everybody. And somebody done me wrong, son. I got caught again. You're not the injured party, nor is my ex-husband. But I'll tell you what, the guys are keeping track of who's treating me right during this, because there's an end game here. Okay, what are they gonna do? Who all has it? What all do they have? What are they going to do with it? When are they going to do it? And how pissed off did you want them to be when they do it? At you, Charles, at you, Dave, at you, Gordy, at you, Gregory, at you, Lucius, and my ex-husband, and other people in my life you've had mistreat me? Or are they going to get a hell of a lot of favors when this is over? Because they treated me right. Believe me, they're watching every bit of that. And my son, too. So you live with your choices, Charles. Live with your choices. You're a grown-ass man. Act like one.